the Trump administration and by private citizens, lobbyists, to curb DEI programs, curb them in the workplace, curb them on university campuses. And I think that this is absolutely ridiculous because, of course, these DEI programs only came about to promote actual equality, not to try and give people a hand up or a leg up that they did not deserve, but to promote equality. And guess who the biggest beneficiaries of these programs have been? White women, which is why I do not understand why I am not seeing more white women up in arms about this. Now, if you don't believe me that white women are the biggest beneficiaries of DEI programs, literally, I invite you to Google. I will help you, though, by showing you an article from Forbes entitled Who Benefits from Diversity and Inclusion Efforts. Now, this is an article speaking specifically about corporate DEI programs, but if you look up affirmative action on universities, you will find the exact same thing, that white women are the biggest beneficiaries. I will point your attention to this paragraph in particular. While many white women have made gains in American workplaces, the gains for racial and ethnic minority women haven't been as significant. According to another McKinsey study, white women hold nearly 19% of all C-suite positions, while racial and ethnic minority women only hold 4%. Overall, white women have benefited disproportionately from corporate DEI efforts. And if you just stop and think about it logically for a second, it would make all the sense in the world why white women would be the biggest beneficiaries of these programs. Because why did these programs get invented? Why did we decide to start promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion? Why did we need affirmative action? Because in all of these spaces, in colleges, in universities, in corporations, the only people at the top were white men, okay? The only people even allowed in to universities and many corporations were white men. So as we were thinking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, we were thinking about it with regards to race and gender. Now, if all of the systems are benefiting white men first, and they slowly have to let other people come in, other non-white men, who are they going to let in first? Let's just think about it. Let's just be logical, folks. White women, okay?
You at, sister?
Hey, how are
Wait,
you?
wait,
I'm
wait,
so
wait.
happy
Okay,
you answered my
there you go.
live. Oh my goodness.
Where you at in the world, my queen? Where you at?
You were supposed to come out here for an event and it got canceled or
Where,
something.
where? You ain't tell me where.
In
Oh,
Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago. Yes, I'll be coming to Chicago soon. I
You
ain't got a
supposed to
date,
come here.
but you know I'm
Yeah.
coming to
Yeah,
Chicago. It all started for me in
absolutely.
Chicago. So
Yes.
me in Chicago,
Awesome.
we roll like that. So what's your opinion, Queen, on, well, first of all, let me ask you this, because you're in Chicago.
Yes.
Have you noticed, has there been any rounding up of the migrants by Trump? Have you seen with your own two eyes any rounding up of the migrants by the feds for deportation?
Not with my own two eyes. I have a couple close
Because some
friends.
people said it's not really happening,
I
that
haven't
this whole
seen them
thing is
out
a
and about.
smokescreen.
No, I have so with my own two eyes, like physically being there, I have not seen it. I have a couple people that are in the education system, and they said they have been trying to get in the schools, but they've been prepping the teachers, at least a couple ones that I know about, rights, and they won't allow them in the, the actual schools. These are like high schools, grammar schools. So I know two, and they were just in conversation. They told me about it this past week, but I have not seen it physically. I haven't really seen them out either. So, I mean, but we're the hub anyway, one of the hub cities, where they're getting obviously, but I haven't seen anything in reality yet. No,
What is your
nothing
opinion
like
on black folks being upset with Snoop and Nelly for performing at Trump's inauguration? And what is your opinion on Donald Trump signing away Black History celebrations on the federal level?
So for me with Nelly and Snoop, I just had this conversation, but I believe we got bigger fish to fry. I'm on the same thing where you were thinking. I mean, yes, it's a big deal, but I mean, they are in a sense celebrities. That's what they got paid to do. That is their job. They got paid for it. If it was something more, it was like the Super Bowl where they don't get paid and it's more of like promotion, then I would have a different conversation. But they get paid. They are a celebrity. I personally would not do it. But I mean, I can't sit here and say, that's their job. That's what they have to do. They're getting paid to do a job. And so we all got to go to work, and we don't like our boss, but we still have to get up because we have bills to pay. So for me, we got bigger things to discuss. So that's my thought. When I like Nelly, I like Snoop. I don't like what they do necessarily, but again, that's their job. How can I sit there and judge? You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And so for me with the DEI, I'm a little shocked by it. But I mean, even the same thing with Martin Luther King and him declassifying those files. I was trying to read through the documents yesterday, and him trying to expose Dr. King, what he had personally going on. So for me, I mean, that's just part of his agenda. We knew this was coming. So for us, I don't see what the shock is. You know, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I get it. So I don't want to dismiss what Black people are feeling, but I get it. But I mean, we knew this was happening, and I think it's a shame, but we need to organize and really get our people together and go beyond that. You know what I mean? And DEI really wasn't for Black people. I agree. It was for other array of folks and what they
Yeah,
classify as and so forth. It never was for us. I work in a corporate job. It has never impacted me. I've never benefited from it, so I never understood the purpose of it. I'm all here for diversity and inclusion, but it wasn't just for African Americans. Let's call a spade a spade.
right.
So for me, it wasn't. So I mean, I'm not shocked by it. I'm not shocked by what he's doing. We just need to prepare. I think Black people are all focusing on this other stuff, like you said, Nelly and Snoop Dogg stuff. We need to organize. We need to get our people together. We need to get our money together and really come together collectively as a community instead of all this fighting of, who's wrong and this is wrong and this selling out. No, we're also not each other if we don't organize and get together and really figure out what the next steps are. So I think, again, we got bigger things to worry about, and we're too distracted by the blah and not looking at what's deeper.
Mm,
So that's just my thought. I hope I said that
yes,
well.
yes.
That's my
Well
thing.
said, Queen. Well said. I'm gonna see you in Chicago soon.
Absolutely. Love and
Okay,
peace.
babe.
Love you.
Be safe now. All right. Very intelligent sister. We have a lot of intelligent sisters. I hope y'all sign up for the 20 versus 1. I'm going to choose 20 queens. I'm going to make sure they diversify queens. You know what I mean? 20 versus 1. If you 30 years up or older, you have a business or a nonprofit and you want to help feature that business, you can sign up for the 20 versus 1 with Dr. Umar. It's going to be fun. Live studio audience. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to really see what type of queen you are in a good way. There will be no disrespect, nothing inappropriate. It's going to be a real good time in front of a live studio audience. Who tapping in? Brother Maverick going once, Brother Maverick going twice, Brother Maverick going 3 times. I need you to come on camera, family. What you laying outside on the street? What's going on, Maverick?
Namaste, Ashe.
Ashe, my
Peace, God.
brother. Peace King. Where you at in the world?
Kentucky, but I'm from Washington, D.C. originally.
I got you. Kentucky. What part of Kentucky?
Louisville.
Louisville. Yes, sir. Shout out to all my Louisville Africans.
Ashe.
What's your take? What's your take on folks tearing up Nelly and Snoop? Do you agree with them? And what's your take on Trump getting rid of the Black History Month and the DEI?
So I'm pro-Trump getting rid of Black History Month, not pro-Trump getting rid of DUI. Let me explain why I said that statement, though. The reason being is you cannot condense a race of people and a culture of people that has been copycatted, plagiarized all throughout historically, and condense it down to a single month and say that that is justified and fair to the respect that that culture is owed. Now, as far as Nelly and Snoop, I feel like once he started getting in bed with Martha Stewart, he kind of bought everything that came thereafter. Nelly, I'm not too much familiar with the brother. You know what I mean? I listened to the guy when I was like in my 20s and stuff, but other than that, I don't really know him that well enough to speak about it. But as far as Snoop kind of always been a little bit of a bootlicker, a little bit of a showboater for playing both sides. Y'all was talking about Charlemagne earlier. Charlemagne kind of mastered this a little bit, not in a disrespectful way, but in a respectful way to the culture. He don't necessarily do anything to get a target sight on him, but he don't also necessarily push anything that would necessarily elevate a collective of us, if that makes sense. As far as how you say
DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
So I feel like on the one hand, it's going to make us grow as a people, make us kind of start more businesses within our own dynamic, within our own culture, because we've been talking about Black Wall Street for years, but we're not talking about why we haven't been able to get to it. A lot of people want to be that token individual within their workplace. A lot of people want to be that token individual without necessarily doing the hard work. We already know that we overqualify for a lot of positions that we get denied. But the fact of the matter is, the more positions we get denied, the more positions we force to create for ourselves within our culture, within our own parameters, without having to operate in the parameter they set. Because as long as they set in the parameter, then they get to dictate who gets to control it, who gets to get into it, and who gets to maneuver throughout it.
Well said. One thing I wanted to clarify with you, young King, when Dr. Carter G. Woodson created Black History Month,
Mhm.
he actually chose February. So a black man chose February, and he did it because it included the month of Frederick Douglass's birth and Abraham Lincoln's birth. And of course, we know Abraham Lincoln was no friend of black people, but he was just
Right.
trying to sweeten the pot a little bit. So I just wanted to clarify, because a lot of people think the government gave us February. The government didn't give us February. Dr. Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history, he's the one who
Oh
chose
no, I'm
February.
aware of both of them.
Okay. Okay.
I would even say that Abraham Lincoln historically should be remembered for saying that if he could have won the war without using the slaves, he would have.
Yes, sir.
That's what he should be remembered for.
Yes, sir.
But they like to pick and choose. But I just wanted to tell you, man, I've been following you since I was like a kid. I very, very much respect everything that you do, and I feel like you don't get enough credit, and you don't have enough of the right energies around you to mobilize and elevate the culture the way that I feel like made your life mission to do so.
I feel you. I feel you, King. Thanks for them words, man. I hope to see you at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy when we open up this year too, bro. The grand opening. You got to pull on up. And I will be coming to Louisville sometime soon, because I have Cincinnati, which is right up the road from Louisville. I'm in Cincinnati February the 20th, on the day Frederick Douglass passed away. It's a Frederick Douglass lecture. Cincinnati is like an hour away, maybe 90 minutes from Louisville. So I might be in Louisville February 19th or the 21st, which is the day Malcolm died. So be on the
I
lookout for that.
say,
Yes, sir. Shout out to my Louisville Africans. I got to get back to Louisville. Be safe out there, King. Thanks for the
love and light to
intelligence,
you as
brother.
you maneuver as well, God.
Yes, sir. All right, God. Be safe, bro.
I say.
Right. Very intelligent brother right there. Very intelligent brother right there. Very intelligent brother. Well, if you an American Indian, that's, the pretendian hold that. I'm not even going to talk about the pretendians today. The Cherokees kicked y'all out of the nation. The Black Creeks kicked y'all out. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take for black people to realize that Native Americans don't want them. They were also slave owners. The Native Americans own black people. But y'all pretendians, y'all don't know how to give it up. Chloe be blessed. Where's Chloe be blessed? I want to talk to Chloe be blessed. Where you at, Chloe?
The good doc would pick me when I look crazy.
Now you look beautiful, always beautiful. Where you at, Sister Chloe?
I'm
What city?
based in Colorado, but I'm from LA.
Okay, but you're from LA. What is your opinion on Donald Trump signing away the Black History, the DEI, and people attacking Nelly and Snoop for performing at the inauguration? What's your honest opinion on these things?
I can't even conceptualize the fact that Snoop went in, called niggas jigaboos and all this other stuff, and then went and did that. I'm still
Wait. You said Snoop was name calling black people?
like 5 years ago, 6 years ago,
Okay.
like during the what is it, FDT, when YG made that song FDT for Donald Trump.
Okay.
Um, he went on land. It was like just a small little quick reel or something. And so to fast forward and him decide to be in bed with this same person that he was calling other people jigaboos for voting for, not even for, you know what I mean, performing, tap dancing for performing, or excuse me, for voting for. It blew my mind. Like, are you serious? Like, Snoop, you don't need this. You don't you don't need the money. You don't need the notoriety. You don't need to say, check it off your bucket list to say that you've been at an inauguration. Like, I'm sure he was well tapped in with Obama and all them. So to me, it's really disheartening. If anything, it's really disheartening.
What's your thoughts on DEI? Donald Trump getting rid of the DEI.
Here's my thing. As a very highly educated black woman, Howard University educated, graduated, HU, I I see it two ways because, like, as a black woman, again, and being educated, I know that a lot of black women are, because they're educated, are going to be qualified. We're going to be able to make our way into these spaces. And a lot of these colonizers like to pit us against each other. So they're going to hire some sisters, you know what I mean? But what
Mhm.
scares me is the brothers. What scares me is DEI as it relates to the brothers is where it scares me personally. I'm like, I don't know.
Now,
I
what
don't know.
about the fact that, because DEI is not affirmative action. Those are
Yeah.
two different things. And DEI was started by Barack Obama and has largely benefited LGBT and immigrants. So, what did we lose if we never really gained from it? Is the question. Stop flirting with the chat and focus. What,
I mean, this is
so what's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I'm kind of like, get rid of it. I'm very us first. You know what I mean? I love all
Mm,
people. You know what I mean? All the things. I got friends of all cultures and creeds and orientations and whatever. But at the same time, I'm black first. Period. Um.
mm.
So for me, I think over the long run, it's going to benefit us. I see it as nothing but benefiting us. It's going to force us to have to do for self. It's going to force us
Yes,
to have
yes,
rely on self. It's going to force us to focus on self. So for
yes.
me, I don't see it as a problem, but I do see our brothers who do want these corporate jobs, who do want certain positions. I see that being a barrier.
Okay, okay. Thanks for tapping in. Beautiful, great points. Appreciate you, mom.
Come to
All right.
Colorado.
I'm coming, baby. I'm coming. All right. All